Well, that was David Bowie with DJ, and I mean, like, the Lodger album has just blown me out, and the film clips are just...
And first of all, congratulations on 2 efforts now, with Scary Monsters, being such a success as it is, and the play, Elephant Man. I just couldn't quite believe the play, actually. It seems so strange for you to take such on a part as the Elephant Man, and yet it works so good.
I think I don't know. I think the part's fairly not an obvious one for me to play, but I think the fact that I'm doing a straight dramatic play is the most interesting thing.
Right.
It's not something I expected to do.
One that's over the years looks as if he always goes for challenges and goes out on a limb. The part that you played, though, of John Merrick, surely that is a challenge, you know? To play an absolute deformed creature.
Yeah.
And yet you play it so straight, as far as, like, there's no makeup, no nothing.
It's my home. I have a home. I have, for as long as I like.
That is what home is.
That is what is home.
If I abide by the rules, I will be happy.
Yes, sir.
Don't be shy.
If I abide by the rules, I will be happy.
Very good. Why?
Why what?
You're continually sort of having to sort of clip words and sort of talk like that, you know, or like that sort of thing, until one part where you become the opposite role, where you're actually questioning the doctor.
The mutant doctor. And it's his nightmare. It's his own nightmare that, in fact, he might be the mutant,
right,
or the monster, or the fabulous beast, or whatever.
Well, many people, including rock critics, can read a lot into it about David Bowie and the images. And don't you dare take my notes. I don't have a great... It's the first time I've ever done notes. How did you get into the music scene then?
People gave me records and whatever, and it was sort of all kinds of stuff, and then I came across a Little Richard record. Somebody bought me as a Christmas present or something. And I just got stuck on that. I was about 10, I think. 9 or 10.
Now, I don't know if many people have heard it, but I know I haven't heard it, is the album, the first album you did, called Love You Till Tuesday, which was with, and I'm not sure, David Jones in the lower third or David Bowie in the bass.
Can't remember which.
Right.
I don't remember.
What sort of record was it? Was it a pure rock and roll record?
No, it wasn't. It was like using a lot of chamber music instruments and putting them into pop music. At that time, pop, out-and-out pop. And it was my first crack at trying to do arrangements, musical arrangements, and writing in a style that was not rock and roll or regular sort of pop music. It was almost like, there were some of them almost vaudeville. And they sort of teetered between vaudeville and the melodramatic. Quite a funny little first songs.
Right. Well, actually, in 1969, I had the chance to interview for the first time, which was sort of back of EMI somewhere with at New Managers, and you just had an afro hairstyle, and Space Oddity was the big thing. And then I saw you as a inner fighting about which way I wanted to go, and I just decided to drop the straight singing bit and get back into the idea of theatre that I had. Well, can I ask you now, what did Major Tom mean in Space Oddity to you at that time?
For me, I suppose he was my own ideal of what I wanted to do.
Right.
Somebody totally in his own world.
I mean, he was a hero, obviously.
Yeah, but to me, he was an anti. He was sort of he was a hero to me, but an anti-hero. He didn't have any social context.
Well, just looking at it from the song, I mean, I gather that from Space Oddity that Major Tom was a sort of a superhero to those that listened to him.
Yeah,
apart from the writer then.
Yeah, he was an aspect of the American dream that took off. That the dream got lost on him. It wasn't resolved at that time. But in Ashes to Ashes, I resolved it.
Right. Hunky Dory then was actually the first, I think, taste of an image of David Bowie of where the image had completely changed from, say, 2 years before. Were you conscious of that image? Were you pursuing that image at that stage?
No, I just treated it from album to album. I mean, it just changed drastically with the kind of song that I was writing.
Right.
As I was going through a sort of, I thought it was some of my best songwriting at that time. So I became a Renaissance man with a pre-Raphaelite kind of look.
Right.
But that was sort of tongue-in-cheek.
And the critics at that stage started to take a lot of notice. How much notice did you take of the critics at that stage?
I was aware that I had a good chance of making my songs known, but it was how I was going to present them,
Right.
which was the age-old problem that I had. And that was, Ziggy Stardust really solved that.
Well, the rise and fall, we went then to Aladdin Sane, which is around about the 73 period. And again, it was a stunning cover. So before you even had a chance to listen to the album, there was a new image there.
Yes.
That sort of perhaps could be related to Ziggy, but still was coming out
That
of it.
was really yes, it was. You could relate him because it was the cracking up of said young gentleman.
Right.
It was his sort of what happened to him in America.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Which
again...
it did sort of, you know, to an exaggerated extent, feature a lot of what was happening to me.
All right, so we get to the point of where, on that album, which is a surprise, because suddenly you were being hailed through the last two albums and the last three albums as a singer-songwriter, especially a songwriter.
Yeah.
And you started to sort of put other people's songs, and of all people, the Rolling Stones would spend the night together on that album. Can I ask why?
I always thought it was a good song. And the other band, it was a throwaway thing.
What about the classic track, Jean Genie, which you performed
Oh, that was,
on
yeah, that, for
your
me,
last
that
album?
was Motor City. I mean,
Yeah. David Live happened after that.
Yeah. In the studio at the same time as him.
Right.
And we just keep taking over from each other, not listening to what the other person did before.
But surely
just
before-
knowing the foundations and the premise that we were working on, how many beats there were,
Right.
whatever.
But
But not
surely
listening
before the
to
low thing, you were still in yourself, you must have been, because
I
there
had
were
done
some weird
things.
sounds.
I had done,
before.
yeah, I had done an awful. It wasn't as though it was a new thing to me. It was nice to work with Brian, but I had been doing cut-ups,
Right.
musical cut-ups and word cut-ups for a long time, going way back. Just started on Aladdin Sane, but it came to its full-on Diamond Dogs, where
Can
that
you
was
just
a
explain very briefly the Burroughs system
Yeah.
that you used on that?
It was taking three different points of view
Right.
of any given subject. You have one subject, and you look at it from three different perspectives, and then you intercut the different perspectives. And you do that logistically. You just take sentences and cut the sentences up. And that sounds like very free form and a shambles. I think the actual writing ability comes in it. It's how you're going to use the information that you get out of it. You can do some dreadful cut-ups if you don't know what you're doing.
All right, Young Americans, which I thought was a great album. Right. And then, of course, in '77, with Eno, going into a lot of electronics, and
Yeah.
you seemed to cut down your lyrics a lot with Low.
Yeah.
And it was sort of,
I kept them very precise.
Yeah.
There was very little imagery in the lyrics. The imagery came in the music.
right.
I focused more attention onto the complexities and the textures of the music and let that do the talking more.
With Heroes, the title track itself, as much as...
Strong melody form, which then, of course, evolved into Scary Monsters.
Right, but at that stage it seemed strange. You'd done those film clips and you did three in all, Boys,
DJ.
DJ,
Look Back in Anger.
Look Back in Anger.
Yeah.
And it looked like a new day, sort of like a childhood sort of cartoon title.
Yeah.
And yet it's a pretty frightening song.
Well, I did get the title from the Kellogg's. Sorry, Kellogg's, it might not be you, but it's one of those kinds of things. Some cereal packet.
Yeah. To get things done, you better not mess with Major Tom. Did your mum ever say not to go into the rock industry?
No, that comes from da 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 da, a rubber dolly. That kind of.
Right.
It was one of a nursery rhyme thing I just wanted to use. The nursery rhymes always, for me, especially the old Victorian ones, have that
They're pretty
tissue,
frightening,
tissue,
right?
all fall down. Well, sure. I mean, that was about the plague. I mean,
Right.
most nursery rhymes have a horrendous sort of
Yeah,
background,
they're pretty frightening.
and this one had the same nursery rhyme quality about it.
Maria Schell said that I think he's going to be... It's an interesting song because you produced and wrote for Mott the Hoople. And the dudes are sort of about fashion, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Disco. Does that please you, that the fact that it is a different change now for all the dance places, the rock and roll?
I like what's happening in dance places now, over the last year or two. I think the music is becoming very healthy.
Well, look, there's a million things I could ask you, and I can't go on.
Well,
Before, there's one question, David. Don't you fear of it anymore. There's just one thing I want to ask before I want to give you something. Now you've read it. Oh, no.
A tatty bit of paper.
Well, there's one I've never glittered in my life, which was a quote of yours. But all right, I'll take one from the very start of your career. Off The Man Who Fell to Earth. I'd rather stay here with all the madmen than perish with the sad men roaming free. How true is that with you now?
I don't think it's. I think I've reevaluated that.
Right, another one is you
far
take
saner.
chances rather than stay safe. which
I
you've
think
always
that's
done.
that I still would hold to, yeah.
And one that I can't understand, but you probably can
Don't
tell
ask me.
Personally and private, I've never been interested in rock. I listen to it only in an analytic way in search of ideas. I don't get pleasure from it. Do you get pleasure now?
Yeah, but not in the morning.
Right. On behalf of RCA Records, Countdown and the Australian Record Buying Public. Madison, thanks, mate.
Thanks very
And
much.
you've got to come down.
Thank you, everybody.
Any chance of coming down to Australia touring? Don't ask.
It's not out of the question
Right.
next year.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing that. Thank you.